Every day, there is a version of you trying to destroy your future. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, through delay, through comfort, through small decisions that feel harmless in the moment. There is a version of you that wants comfort, and a version that wants power. One wants ease, the other wants growth. One wants to feel good now, the other wants to become stronger later. Your biggest enemy has your face. It speaks in your voice. It uses your logic. It justifies your hesitation. You don't need motivation. You need to win the war inside you. Because every day you wake up and fight the same person. The one who says later, the one who says not today, the one who says you deserve a break. And the reason you feel stuck is because you are negotiating with weakness. You bargain with it. You compromise with it. You give it small victories, and those small victories become your limitations. No man is free who is not master of himself. Epictetus. Freedom is not about circumstances. It is about command. Command over impulse, command over emotion, command over distraction, command over comfort. Most people want freedom without discipline. That is impossible. Today is not about inspiration. It is not about hype. It is not about feeling ready. Today we train. This is not a speech. This is not a motivational video. This is a mental conditioning session, a gym for your mind. There will be resistance, there will be discomfort, there will be moments where the weaker voice inside you says, "This is too much." Good. That is the voice we are here to confront. For the next hour, you are not here to be entertained. You are here to build strength, not physical strength, mental strength. Because the war was never outside you. It has always been internal. And today we stop negotiating. We begin. You are not here to listen. You are here to train. There is a difference. Listening is passive. Training requires participation. For the next hour, you will not be given comfort. You will be given structure. This session is divided into phases. A warm-up, then sets. Each set will increase resistance. Each set will expose something. Not about the world, about you. This is a gym for your mind. In a physical gym, you do not grow by watching the weights. You grow by lifting them, by feeling resistance, by repeating the difficult motion until it becomes strength. The mind works the same way. You do not build discipline by thinking about it. You build it by confronting discomfort. You do not build emotional control by wishing for calm. You build it by resisting reaction. You do not build self-respect through intention. You build it through kept promises. In this session, you will face your procrastination, your negotiation with comfort, your emotional impulses, your need for validation, your broken agreements with yourself. Not to shame you, but to condition you. Understand this clearly. Discomfort is not a sign you are failing. It is a sign you are lifting something heavy, and weakness will speak. It will say this is too long. It will say this is unnecessary. It will say you already know this. Notice that voice. Do not obey it. That voice is the reason you are here. Every set in this session is deliberate. There will be awareness training. There will be resistance training. There will be identity training. And at the end of each phase, you will be asked a question. Not for entertainment, for confrontation. You will answer honestly, not to impress anyone, but to build internal command. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming disciplined. It is about reducing negotiation. It is about increasing control. If you stay through this entire session, you will not leave motivated. You will leave sharper, and sharp minds build strong lives. We begin with awareness. Because before you strengthen something, you must see it clearly. Warm up. Before strength comes awareness. Before control comes clarity. You are not one person. You are divided. There is the version of you that speaks about discipline, and there is the version of you that avoids it. There is the version of you that imagines a stronger future, and there is the version that protects present comfort. Both live inside you. Both speak. But only one decides. Most people believe their exhaustion comes from work. It doesn't. It comes from internal conflict, from waking up with intention and sleeping with compromise, from saying this matters in the morning and saying it can wait by evening. That contradiction drains you. You promise to wake up early, then you negotiate. You promise to stay consistent, then you negotiate. You promise not to react emotionally, then you negotiate. Weakness rarely attacks directly. It suggests, it whispers, it offers reasonable excuses. It says, tomorrow will be better. You've already done enough. One day won't matter. And every time you accept that suggestion, you reinforce the weaker identity. This is the first thing you must understand. You are always training one of the two versions. Always. When you delay action, you train hesitation. When you react emotionally, you train instability. When you break small promises, you train self-doubt. The mind does not stay neutral. It adapts. It strengthens what you repeat. So the question is not whether you are training. The question is, which version are you strengthening? The disciplined self is quiet. It does not argue. It does not explain. It acts. The comfort self is persuasive. It has logic. It has justification. It feels reasonable. That is why it wins so often. This warm-up is not about changing anything yet. It is about seeing clearly. Notice your patterns. Notice when you postpone what matters. Notice when you seek distraction. Notice when you avoid silence. Notice when you choose comfort over growth. Do not judge yourself, but do not lie to yourself either. Clarity is the first rep. Without clarity, there is no control. And without control, there is no freedom. You cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to identify. So identify it. Right now. Which version of you speaks louder most days? The one that protects comfort, or the one that builds strength? Write it in the comments. Name it directly. Because once you name it, you stop pretending it isn't there. Set 1. Identifying weakness. Weakness does not look like failure. It looks like logic. It sounds reasonable. It feels protective. It speaks in your voice. When you decide to wake up earlier, it says, sleep is important. When you decide to work harder, it says, you've already done enough. When you decide to improve your discipline, it says, don't be too extreme. None of these statements sound destructive. That is why weakness survives. It does not attack your goals. It softens them. It delays them. It reduces urgency. And slowly, it reduces you. You do not collapse dramatically. You drift quietly. One postponed task, one avoided discomfort, one small broken promise, and over time, drift becomes identity. You begin to believe you are simply not consistent. But inconsistency is trained. Every time you delay what matters, you reinforce hesitation. Every time you choose comfort over effort, you strengthen avoidance. Every time you break a commitment to yourself, you weaken trust. And without self-trust, discipline cannot exist. You sit down to work. The task feels heavy. Immediately, discomfort appears. Your mind searches for relief. You check your phone. You open another tab. You adjust something unnecessary. You tell yourself you're preparing, but you are not preparing. You are escaping. 5 minutes of scrolling feels harmless, but it trains distraction. You are teaching your brain that discomfort equals escape. Repeat that pattern enough times, and focus becomes rare. You are not lazy, you are conditioned. Conditioned to flee resistance. The same pattern appears in your emotions. Someone criticizes you, someone challenges you, someone ignores you. Heat rises, your chest tightens, words form quickly, you respond before thinking. In that moment, reaction feels powerful, but it is not power, it is loss of control. True strength is restraint. Weakness reacts instantly, strength observes. Weakness needs to be right, strength needs to remain stable. Every emotional outburst trains instability. Every unnecessary argument trains ego. Every defensive explanation trains insecurity. You think you are defending yourself, but you are weakening yourself. And then there is validation. You post something. You check who saw it. You check who liked it. You check who responded. You pretend you do not care, but you check again. Every time you measure your worth through response, you surrender control. Now your mood depends on reaction. Your confidence depends on approval. Your peace depends on attention. That is weakness training. You are outsourcing your stability. Self-command requires internal standards. Weakness requires external reassurance. And then there are the small promises, the ones no one else sees. You say you will wake up at 6. You wake at 7. You say you will study for an hour. You stop at 15 minutes. You say you will stay calm. You react again. These moments feel small, but repetition is powerful. Your mind is recording data. It learns, my word does not matter. Once that belief forms, discipline collapses. Because discipline depends on trust. If you cannot trust yourself, you cannot command yourself. And if you cannot command yourself, you cannot master yourself. Weakness thrives in optional behavior. I'll do it if I feel like it. I'll start when I'm ready. I'll try tomorrow. Strength removes options. Strength decides once and executes repeatedly. Weakness negotiates daily. There is another form of weakness that hides even deeper. It disguises itself as balance. You need rest. You deserve comfort. You've already worked hard. Sometimes that is true, but often it is avoidance wearing the mask of wisdom. Real balance includes discomfort. Real growth includes strain. If everything feels easy, you are not building strength. You are maintaining limits. Look at your patterns honestly. Where do you hesitate most? Work, health, learning, conversations, silence. When discomfort appears, what do? Do you lean in, or do you escape? The mind adapts to repetition. If you repeatedly escape, you train fragility. If you repeatedly endure, you train resilience. You are always training something. Even when you think you are resting. When you avoid difficult conversations, you train avoidance. When you over-explain yourself, you train insecurity. When you delay action, you train doubt. These patterns feel harmless in isolation, but together they shape identity. You begin to describe yourself as inconsistent, emotional, unfocused, unlucky. But those are not traits. They are patterns. Patterns reinforced through repetition. Weakness grows in vagueness. Strength grows in clarity. So be specific. Do not say, I struggle sometimes. Say, I procrastinate when tasks feel uncertain. Do not say, I get emotional. Say, I react when my ego feels threatened. Do not say, I lack discipline. Say, I choose comfort when discomfort appears. Specific awareness creates leverage. Vague awareness creates excuses. You are not broken. You are conditioned. And conditioning can be reversed, but only if identified precisely. This is not about shame, it is about exposure. Weakness loses power when it is seen clearly. The comfort voice inside you is persuasive. It sounds rational, it sounds protective. It says, start tomorrow. Calm down, don't push too hard. You've already done enough. But the disciplined voice does not argue, it acts. It does not defend itself, it executes. The question is not whether weakness exists. It does. The question is, which voice are you feeding? Every decision feeds one. Every delay strengthens one. Every reaction trains one. You cannot strengthen both equally. You choose, even when you pretend not to. So before we continue, you must answer honestly. Which weakness negotiates with you the most? Procrastination, emotional reaction, validation dependence, broken promises, avoidance of discomfort. Write it clearly in the comments. Name it without softening it. Because once you name it, you stop pretending it is harmless. And what is no longer hidden can no longer quietly control you. Set 2. The comfort addiction. Comfort is not neutral, it is addictive. And most people are unaware they are dependent on it. Your phone vibrates, you check it immediately. You feel bored, you reach for stimulation, you feel uncertain, you look for distraction, you feel discomfort, you escape. This pattern feels normal, but it is training your brain. Every time you replace effort with entertainment, you reinforce weakness. Dopamine is not the enemy, but uncontrolled dopamine is. Scrolling requires nothing. Finishing something difficult requires discipline. Your brain prefers what is easy, so it rewards what is easy. And you cooperate. You say you want success, but you choose stimulation. You say you want focus, but you choose distraction. You say you want growth, but you choose relief. Comfort feels small in the moment, but repetition makes it powerful. You delay the workout, you delay the study session, you delay the hard conversation, not because you cannot do it, but because comfort is available instantly, and instantly is dangerous. The comfort voice says, "This won't hurt. It's just a break. You need to relax." But notice the pattern. The break comes before the effort. The reward comes before the work. That reverses the natural order of strength. Strength earns relief. Weakness consumes relief first. Over time, your tolerance for discomfort shrinks. Small tasks feel overwhelming. Minor criticism feels unbearable. Silence feels heavy. You need noise. You need stimulation. You need something. That is dependence. And dependence destroys discipline. A strong mind can sit in silence. A strong mind can face boredom. A strong mind can endure temporary discomfort without reaching for escape. But when you train comfort daily, you weaken that capacity. You open your phone without thinking. You switch tasks when focus becomes hard. You avoid the task that matters most, and then you wonder why progress is slow. Progress requires friction. Comfort removes friction. If everything in your life is optimized for ease, you will become fragile. Fragility is not dramatic. It shows up quietly, in hesitation, in doubt, in avoidance, in the inability to stay with difficulty. Comfort is seductive because it feels safe. But growth is not safe. Growth stretches. Growth strains. Growth demands that you stay present when your mind wants to flee. Look at your day honestly. How often do you choose stimulation over stillness? How often do you check your phone before completing the hard task? How often do you delay action because relief is available? These are not random habits. They are patterns of addiction. Not addiction to substances, addiction to ease, addiction to comfort, addiction to not feeling strain. The disciplined version of you does not eliminate comfort, it controls it. Comfort becomes a reward, not a default. Discomfort becomes a tool, not a threat. If you cannot sit with boredom, you cannot build focus. If you cannot sit with difficulty, you cannot build resilience. If you cannot sit with discomfort, you cannot build power. So ask yourself honestly, where are you choosing comfort over growth? Be specific. Is it your health, your work, your emotions, your learning, your relationships? Write one area in the comments, not to confess, to confront. Because once you see where comfort controls you, you can begin to reverse it. Set 3. Discipline under resistance. Discipline does not appear when things are easy. It appears when resistance shows up. Anyone can act when motivated. Anyone can move when inspired. But discipline begins the moment motivation disappears. Resistance is the weight, and most people drop it immediately. You decide to start something important. The discomfort arrives, it feels heavy. Your mind begins searching for alternatives. Maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe after I feel better. This is the moment that matters, not the plan, not the intention, the moment of resistance. That is where identity is formed. When resistance appears, you have two choices: escape or endure. Escape feels intelligent. Endurance feels difficult. But endurance builds strength. Every time you act, before you feel ready, you train command. Every time you move without waiting for emotion to agree, you train authority over yourself. Most people are ruled by emotion. If they feel like it, they act. If they do not feel like it, they delay. That is emotional dependence. Strength requires emotional independence. You act because it must be done, not because you feel like doing it. Resistance shows up in small ways. The alarm rings, your body feels heavy. You want comfort. You choose whether to move. That decision shapes identity. You sit down to work, your focus fades. You want distraction. You choose whether to stay. That decision shapes identity. Someone challenges you. Your ego flares. You want to react. You choose whether to pause. That decision shapes identity. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is repeated behavior under resistance. Every time you override comfort, you increase tolerance. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen restraint. Every time you finish what you started, you increase internal trust. Internal trust is power. Without it, you doubt your own words. With it, your commands carry weight. Resistance is not your enemy. It is your training partner. It reveals where you are weak. It exposes your limits. And it offers you a choice. Weakness negotiates with resistance. Strength meets it directly. You say you want growth. Growth lives inside resistance. You say you want confidence. Confidence is built by surviving discomfort. You say you want control. Control is built by pausing before reaction. If you avoid resistance, you avoid strength. If you escape discomfort, you escape growth. This is why comfort addiction is dangerous. It lowers your tolerance. Then ordinary challenges feel overwhelming. You become fragile. Fragility shows up quietly. You hesitate longer. You react faster. You doubt more often. You quit sooner. But resilience is also quiet. You endure slightly longer. You react slightly slower. You doubt slightly less. You finish slightly more. And those small differences accumulate. Discipline under resistance means acting when you do not want to. It means staying when leaving would be easier. It means finishing when stopping would be comfortable. It means choosing silence when speaking would feel satisfying. This is not dramatic. It is daily. You build strength in ordinary moments, not grand gestures, not public declarations. Private decisions, repeated consistently. There is no applause in discipline, no recognition, no instant reward, only internal reinforcement. You either train endurance, or you train escape. You either train control, or you train impulse. You either train resilience, or you train fragility. There is no neutral ground. Resistance will return tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. It does not disappear, it waits. The question is not whether resistance exists, it always will. The question is, when it appears, who decides, emotion or discipline? Think carefully. Where do you surrender most often when resistance shows up? Is it early mornings, focused work, emotional restraint, health routines, difficult conversations? Be precise. Write it in the comments. Name the exact moment where you usually fold, because that moment is your training ground. That is where your identity is shaped, and that is where your strength must be built. Set 4. Emotional immunity training. Physical strength is visible. Emotional strength is not. But emotional weakness destroys more progress than physical limitation ever could. You can have discipline, you can have focus, you can have ambition, and still lose everything to emotion. One uncontrolled reaction, one impulsive message, one unnecessary argument, one moment of ego. Emotional weakness is subtle. It disguises itself as honesty, as passion, as defending yourself. But often it is simply lack of control. Someone criticizes you. Your body reacts before your mind does. Heat rises, your heart rate increases, your thoughts accelerate, you want to respond immediately. That urgency is weakness. Strength pauses. Strength observes the emotion without becoming it. You are not your anger. You are not your embarrassment. You are not your insecurity. You are the one observing it. But if you respond instantly, you surrender that position. Emotional immunity begins with separation. You feel anger, but you do not become anger. You feel fear, but you do not become fear. You feel rejection, but you do not become rejection. Most people are fused with their emotions. If they feel it, they express it. If they feel attacked, they attack. If they feel ignored, they react. That is fragility. Immunity means tolerance. You can sit with the discomfort without reacting. You can endure the internal tension without releasing it impulsively. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Power over your mind, not over people, not over circumstances, over your reaction. If someone disrespects you, you control your response. If someone misunderstands you, you control your response. If someone ignores you, you control your response. Weakness seeks immediate relief. It wants to defend, it wants to correct, it wants to prove. Strength calculates long-term impact. Sometimes silence is power, sometimes distance is power. Sometimes restraint is power. Emotional immunity does not mean suppression. It means regulation. Suppression stores emotion. Regulation processes it. You notice the emotion. You pause, you breathe. You choose deliberately. That pause is training. That gap between feeling and action is strength. The shorter the gap, the weaker the control. The longer the gap, the stronger the authority. Look at your recent conflicts. How many were necessary? How many were ego-driven? How many were reaction instead of strategy? Weakness needs the last word. Strength needs stability. Weakness explains excessively. Strength speaks minimally. Weakness tries to control perception. Strength controls behavior. When you over-explain yourself, you signal insecurity. When you defend every criticism, you reveal fragility. When you react to every comment, you surrender peace. Emotional immunity means you do not chase validation. You do not chase correction. You do not chase approval. You remain steady. Steadiness is intimidating because it cannot be manipulated. If someone cannot provoke you, they cannot control you. If someone cannot trigger you, they cannot destabilize you. This is power. Not loud power, quiet power. You must train this deliberately. When emotion rises, do not respond immediately. Wait. When you feel the urge to send the message, wait. When you feel the urge to argue, wait. That waiting builds strength. Every paused reaction increases control. Every controlled response increases authority. Every calm decision strengthens identity. You are not trying to eliminate emotion, you are trying to master it. Emotion is energy, but unmanaged energy is destructive. Managed energy is precision. Ask yourself honestly, what emotion controls you fastest? Anger, insecurity, jealousy, fear of judgment, impatience? Identify it clearly. When does it appear? What triggers it? How do you usually respond? Be specific. Write the emotion in the comments. Name it directly. Because emotional immunity begins with recognition. You cannot regulate what you refuse to see, and you cannot master what you deny. Set 5. Self-respect conditioning. Self-respect is not declared. It is built quietly, repeatedly, through kept promises. Most people want confidence, but confidence without self-trust is fragile, and self-trust is built through consistency. Every time you make a commitment to yourself and follow through, you strengthen internal alignment. Every time you break that commitment, you weaken it. This is not dramatic. It is structural. Imagine your identity as a structure. Every kept promise is a brick. Every broken promise removes one. You may not see the damage immediately, but over time the structure weakens. You say you will wake up early. You do not. You say you will train today. You postpone it. You say you will remain calm. You react again. Individually, these feel small. Collectively, they redefine you. The mind observes patterns. If you repeatedly ignore your own words, your brain learns something dangerous. My commitments are optional. Once that belief forms, discipline collapses. Because discipline depends on credibility. If your internal voice carries no weight, your commands lose authority. Self-respect begins when your words matter, not to others, to you. You do not need public accountability, you need private integrity. When no one is watching, do you follow through? When there is no applause, do you remain consistent? When there is no immediate reward, do you continue? That is self-respect conditioning. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are trying to align with yourself. Alignment is powerful. When your thoughts, words, and actions match, confidence becomes natural, not forced, not performed, earned. Self-respect is also built through boundaries. Weakness over-explains. Weakness over-justifies. Weakness seeks permission. Strength decides. If you say no, you mean no. If you set a boundary, you maintain it. Every time you allow your boundary to collapse, you teach others how to treat you. But more importantly, you teach yourself. You teach yourself that your standards are flexible. And flexible standards create unstable identity. This does not mean rigidity. It means consistency. You cannot demand respect externally if you do not practice it internally. Respect yourself enough to finish what you start. Respect yourself enough to endure discomfort. Respect yourself enough to remain calm under pressure. Respect yourself enough to avoid unnecessary reaction. Self-respect is not ego. Ego is loud. Self-respect is quiet. It does not need validation. It does not need praise. It is grounded. The more you keep your word to yourself, the stronger your internal authority becomes. Internal authority changes everything. You hesitate less. You doubt less. You negotiate less, because you trust yourself. Trust reduces friction. Friction consumes energy. Most people are exhausted not because of effort, but because of internal contradiction. They promise, they break it, they regret it, they promise again. This cycle destroys self-respect. Break the cycle. Start small. Do not promise everything. Promise one thing and keep it. One small, consistent action daily, not dramatic, not extreme, consistent. Consistency builds identity. Identity builds confidence. Confidence builds stability. And stability builds power. Power that is not loud. Power that does not need approval. Power that does not react impulsively. Power that acts deliberately. Ask yourself honestly, what promise have you been breaking repeatedly? Waking early, training consistently, staying focused, controlling emotion, finishing what you start. Be specific, write it in the comments, name the broken promise, and then decide. Will your word carry weight from this point forward, or will it remain optional? Because self-respect is not given, it is earned through repetition, through alignment, through kept commitments. Set 6. Identity sculpting. You are not fixed, you are formed. Every decision you make is a chisel strike. Every habit you repeat is a shaping force. You are both the sculptor and the stone. Most people think identity is something discovered. It is not. It is constructed, slowly, quietly, through repetition. You do not wake up confident. You practice confidence. You do not wake up disciplined. You practice discipline. You do not wake up resilient. You endure resistance. And through that endurance, resilience forms. The statue does not appear all at once. It emerges through subtraction, through removal, through cutting away what does not belong. Identity works the same way. You remove hesitation, you remove emotional impulsiveness, you remove validation dependence, you remove broken promises, you remove excuses, and what remains is strength. But removal requires discomfort. Every time you refuse distraction, you carve focus. Every time you remain calm under pressure, you carve stability. Every time you keep your word, you carve integrity. Every time you endure resistance, you carve discipline. The sculptor does not strike randomly. Each movement is deliberate. So must yours be. If you move unconsciously, you shape yourself unconsciously. If you repeat weakness, you sculpt fragility. If you repeat avoidance, you sculpt doubt. If you repeat distraction, you sculpt instability. And then one day you look at your life and ask, how did I become this? You became it through repetition, not fate, not luck. Repetition. Identity is not declared in one moment of inspiration. It is reinforced in ordinary decisions. You say you want to become stronger. But strength is not a feeling, it is a pattern. You say you want to become focused. But focus is not a wish. It is a practiced skill. You say you want to become respected. But respect begins internally, through consistency, through restraint, through alignment. The version of you that exists today is the result of thousands of small strikes, small choices, small reactions, small delays, small acts of courage, or small acts of avoidance. There is no neutral sculpting. If you do not intentionally shape yourself, circumstances will, environment will, impulse will, other people's opinions will, you will still be sculpted, just not by you. And that is the real danger. Living as a passive structure instead of an intentional design. You are shaping something every day, even when you do not notice it. When you choose comfort repeatedly, you carve softness. When you choose discipline repeatedly, you carve strength. When you choose silence under provocation, you carve control. When you choose reaction, you carve volatility. The sculptor must be patient. The results are not immediate. You do not see dramatic change after one disciplined day, but repetition compounds. The chisel strikes accumulate, and slowly form emerges. This is why consistency matters more than intensity. A single dramatic action does not shape identity. Repeated, controlled action does. You do not need to transform overnight. You need to strike deliberately daily. And understand this clearly. You are not only sculpting your strengths, you are sculpting your weaknesses too. If you rehearse insecurity, you deepen it. If you rehearse self-doubt, you strengthen it. If you rehearse avoidance, you solidify it. The mind adapts to what you repeat. So repeat carefully. What kind of person are you building? One who reacts quickly, or one who pauses deliberately? One who quits under discomfort, or one who endures? One who seeks validation, or one who trusts internally? Look at your current structure. Look at your habits. Look at your reactions. Look at your discipline. This is your sculpture, not complete, but forming. But architecture requires awareness. It requires discipline. It requires intentional removal. Sometimes growth is not adding more. It is subtracting weakness. Subtract distraction. Subtract excuses. Subtract impulsive reactions. Subtract broken promises. The cleaner the structure, the stronger it stands. Ask yourself honestly, what are you carving daily? Confidence or hesitation? Control or instability? Strength or softness? Be specific. Write in the comments. What trait are you currently reinforcing most through repetition? Name it clearly, because the sculptor must know what he is building. Final set. Becoming dangerous to your old self. There is a version of you that must be outgrown. Not hated, not shamed, outgrown. The version that delays, the version that reacts, the version that negotiates with weakness, the version that waits to feel ready. That version is familiar, comfortable, predictable, and if you do not challenge it deliberately, it will define your future. Becoming dangerous does not mean becoming aggressive. It means becoming disciplined. It means becoming unpredictable to your old patterns. Your old self expects you to hesitate, so act immediately. Your old self expects you to react, so pause. Your old self expects you to quit when resistance rises, so endure. Your old self expects negotiation, so decide once and execute. That is danger, not to others, to your limitations. Most people try to defeat external competition. They try to outperform others, impress others, silence others. But the real opponent is internal. The habits you repeat, the impulses you obey, the excuses you rehearse. You do not defeat this opponent through emotion. You defeat it through repetition. Cold repetition, consistent repetition. When you wake up early consistently, your old self weakens. When you remain calm consistently, your old self weakens. When you finish what you start consistently, your old self weakens. When you stop explaining yourself unnecessarily, your old self weakens. Every disciplined action is a blow against your former limitations. And here is the truth. Your old self will not disappear quietly. It will argue, it will rationalize, It will say you are changing too much. It will say you are becoming extreme. It will say you are losing balance. That is resistance. And resistance confirms growth. If nothing resists you, you are not transforming. Becoming dangerous means you stop announcing your plans. You stop declaring your intentions. You stop seeking validation for your growth. You simply act, quietly, consistently. You let results speak. You let discipline speak. You let restraint speak. There is power in silence. There is power in steadiness. There is power in predictability of effort. The world respects consistency. But more importantly, you respect it. Your old self thrives on inconsistency. It thrives on emotional spikes. It thrives on bursts of motivation followed by collapse. Break that cycle. Choose stability over intensity. Choose repetition over drama. Choose execution over explanation. You do not need to become someone else. You need to become stronger than who you were. Every time you choose discipline, you create distance. Distance from hesitation, distance from insecurity, distance from distraction, distance from fragility. Eventually, that distance becomes identity, and identity becomes reputation. First internally, then externally. You will notice something subtle. When you become consistent, doubt decreases. When you become controlled, fear decreases. When you become disciplined, chaos decreases. Not because the world changes, because you change. You are no longer easy to destabilize. You are no longer easy to distract. You are no longer easy to provoke. That is dangerous. To mediocrity, to weakness, to stagnation. This is not about becoming harsh. It is about becoming solid. Solid in decision, solid in routine, solid in restraint, solid in follow-through. Your old self survives on uncertainty. Kill uncertainty with repetition. Your old self survives on emotional impulse. Kill impulse with pause. Your old self survives on negotiation. Kill negotiation with commitment. You do not need to attack your weaknesses emotionally. You need to outgrow them behaviorally. Ask yourself honestly, where is your old self still controlling you? Morning routines, focus, emotional reactions, discipline, validation, name it clearly. Write it in the comments, not as confession, as declaration. Because the moment you consciously decide to outgrow a pattern, you begin weakening it. You are not trying to win once, you are trying to win daily, and daily victories compound. This is how you become dangerous. Not loud, not dramatic, consistent, relentless, controlled. Cool down. The war continues. The session does not end here. The war does not end here. You will wake up tomorrow, and resistance will return. The alarm will ring. Discomfort will appear. Emotion will rise. Distraction will call. Nothing external will change, but something internal can. You now understand the pattern. You understand the division. You understand the negotiation. You understand the conditioning. Awareness changes the battlefield. Tomorrow, when hesitation appears, you will recognize it. When comfort whispers, you will hear it clearly. When emotion rises, you will notice it sooner. That awareness is power. Not dramatic power. Quiet power. The goal was never to eliminate resistance. Resistance is permanent. The goal is to reduce surrender. Every day there will be a moment of choice. A small one, unnoticed by others, but decisive internally. Will you move or delay? Will you pause or react? Will you endure or escape? That moment shapes identity, not once, repeatedly. Do not expect perfection, expect repetition. Some days you will win cleanly, other days you will hesitate, other days you will react. That is not failure. Failure is unconscious repetition. Growth is conscious correction. If you react tomorrow, notice it. Adjust it the next time. If you procrastinate tomorrow, recognize it. Reduce it the next time. Training is not linear. It is layered. You build gradually, layer by layer, decision by decision. Over time, something shifts. You hesitate less. You react slower. You commit more consistently. You trust yourself more deeply. That shift is subtle, but powerful. You do not need to announce it. You will feel it, and others will notice it without you saying a word. The world does not change because you demand it. It changes because your behavior stabilizes. When you become stable internally, external chaos loses influence. When you become consistent, uncertainty loses control. When you become disciplined, fear loses volume. This is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming reliable. Reliable to yourself, reliable in pressure, reliable under resistance. That reliability becomes confidence. Not loud confidence, not performative confidence, grounded confidence. The kind that does not shake easily. Remember this clearly. The war is not dramatic. It is daily. It is ordinary. It happens in silence. It happens in small decisions. And because it is small, it is easy to underestimate. Do not. The small decision is the real battlefield. Tomorrow morning is the battlefield. The next difficult task is the battlefield. The next emotional trigger is the battlefield. Approach them consciously, not emotionally, not impulsively, deliberately. The goal is not to win once. The goal is to train daily. You will not defeat your old self in one session. You will outgrow it through repetition. The difference between who you are and who you become is built in quiet moments. Moments where no one is watching. Moments where no one is applauding. Moments where you either keep your word or break it. That is where identity lives. That is where strength forms. And that is where the war continues. Ask yourself now, when resistance returns tomorrow, who will decide, emotion or discipline? Keep that question. Carry it into your next decision. Most people would not stay for this long. They would skip. They would scroll. They would leave when discomfort began. You didn't. You stayed in the resistance. You stayed through the exposure. You stayed through the confrontation. That matters. Not because of me, because of what it says about you. This was never about motivation. Motivation fades. This was about structure, about discipline, about reducing negotiation. You did not come here to feel good. You came here to sharpen yourself. And sharpening is not comfortable. The war was never against the world. It was never against competition. It was never against circumstances. It was always internal, against hesitation, against distraction, against impulsive reaction, against broken promises. Strength is not loud, it is repetition. Control is not dramatic, it is restraint. Power is not emotional, it is stable. What you practiced here was not intensity. It was awareness. It was resistance. It was self-command. You are not trying to become someone new overnight. You are removing what weakens you. You are reducing surrender. You are strengthening alignment. Every rep you completed in this session, awareness, endurance, restraint, discipline, was not for today alone. It was for the version of you that shows up tomorrow. You are either building that version or eroding it. There is no neutral. No one will announce your progress. No one will reward your internal victories. But you will feel the difference in hesitation, in reaction, in consistency, in clarity. The work is not glamorous, it is quiet, it is repetitive, it is daily, and that is why it transforms you. The war continues tomorrow, but you do not enter it unprepared. You enter it aware, train again. Return when resistance grows. Return when negotiation begins. Return when comfort feels too attractive. You do not conquer the world in one day. You conquer yourself, one decision at a time. If this session strengthened you, do not let it fade. Write in the comments, "I choose discipline, not for performance, for commitment." Let that sentence mark a decision. Return to this training when resistance rises. Share it with someone who needs structure more than comfort. And remember, you do not wait to feel ready. You act. You do not wait to feel confident. You repeat. You do not defeat weakness once. You outgrow it daily. The next decision you make is the real test. Choose carefully. Train again.